The hay fever season is back, and for 15 million sufferers that means a summer of misery. Many of them will be stuck indoors, unable to go to their favourite activities like picnics, barbecues and weddings, and they'll be getting symptoms such as teary and itchy eyes, sneezing and runny noses, making them feel irritated, grumpy and unattractive. Olympic gold medalist Denise Lewis is a hay fever sufferer.
Hay fever really makes me miserable. I generally feel lethargic, unattractive, and the symptoms are just incredible for me. I sneeze repeatedly, sometimes up to half an hour. When I was training and competing on some occasions, because I do heptathlon, there's 7 events, 2 of which are on the field, throwing events, and if someone would be cutting the grass, that would just set my hay fever off immediately, which resulted in a poor session. These days, hay fever really affects my life in simple ways, such as gardening or playing outside with the kids can be really problematic. Last year, I went to the Chelsea Flowers show, and that was a nightmare. From the moment I got in, I was really suffering.
New research shows that more than a quarter of sufferers aren't satisfied with current treatments. The research has been done by the makers of Prevalin, a new drug-free treatment. They say that it can be used by everyone, that it tackles the root cause of hay fever, and it provides immediate relief to all symptoms experienced in the nose and eyes.
I think a product like Prevalin is really interesting because it gives you a great alternative to the other products on the market. It's drug-free, something that kids can use, pregnant women, and a person like me, a former athlete, who is very conscious about what you do take. I think it gives a great alternative.
The research also shows that 40% of sufferers go to extreme lengths to manage their symptoms. So what are the more reasonable things you can do?
Of course, one of the most important ways to avoid hay fever symptoms is to avoid the pollen that causes these symptoms as best you can. So on a high pollen count day, you're probably best advised to stay indoors with the windows and doors closed. When you do go outside, wear a pair of wraparound sunglasses and think about using a nasal barrier, something that will protect the nose from the onslaught of pollen, but also help to clear the nose of pollen so the pollen's out of harm's way. Something like Prevalin, for example. When you come back indoors, strip off your clothes, put them into a bag, take them to the washing machine and then go and have a shower and wash your hair so that you're not moving pollen all around your home, because we bring pollen in on our skin, in our hair and on our clothes. And likewise, pets bring pollen in on their fur. So if you've got a dog or a cat, make sure you damp wipe them down when they get indoors. And think about those hard surfaces too that can harbour pollen. They need damp wiping as well.
So if you want to avoid going to extreme lengths, then hopefully these words of advice will ease those days of misery and you can enjoy the summer.